This little cocktail of getting the hate on the Jets and on Aaron Rodgers at the same time, like, man, it's nothing like it because
This is a Patriots fan, by the way.
yes, and I'm lifelong Patriots fan. And Robert Saleh, I want today to beat on that guy. If no one else tells you, I'm gonna tell you it wasn't your fault. It was not your fault, bro. But the thing is, it's gotta be somebody's, and that is the problem with Aaron Rodgers. It ain't Aaron Rodgers' fault. Robert Saleh didn't throw them 3 picks. You can say whatever you want. I know the play in the huddle was not throw an interception. I know that for a fact.
Hello.
But listen, the offense not scoring. You can't fire Nathaniel Hackett. You tried. You tried to fire Nathaniel Hackett once they told you no. That's cool. I think in the long term, it's probably the best thing for Robert Saleh. I'm going to be honest.
All right. I want to start off by giving a little insight into the show. One thing I have learned from Ish in doing this show is I have to be more definitive in my opinions. That's what I was looking for. I have to be like, yo, it's going to be this, and if it's not, I'll just take the L. Yeah. I am very like, well, it could be, right. But if it's not, I understand how it wouldn't be, and then I'll explain why. And I really have been very, very hard set on making sure my opinions are strong and I believe them, and there's no room for does he really mean or does he think this or that?
Facts.
With the Jets, I wasn't doing that because I was not sure on Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Now, to Ish's credit, he was straightforward. They gonna suck. Aaron Rodgers isn't good.
Yep.
Forget about it. I'm not sure about the AFC East. Mm-hmm. I am not sure about I think the NFL did them a favor with their schedule. Yeah. And I think Aaron, as bad as he was in 2022, I still believe he can be a top 15 quarterback. And this is one of those situations where I was completely wrong. Mm-hmm. I can't believe – actually, I can believe it because bad organizations do bad things.
Facts.
But it is mind-boggling that they chose Robert Saleh as the scapegoat behind something we can clearly see started with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he has no control over it.
Let's take you down the timeline, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. 2022, before Aaron gets there, everybody is saying, Robert Saleh can coach. Yeah. This Jets team is a quarterback away, not from playoffs, from Super Bowl contention.
Great defense.
Great defense, which is why Robert Saleh came over there, was because he was known as this defensive guru in San Francisco. Remember, they used to cut to him all the time. He'd be yelling, chest-bumping players. They'd be like, we love the energy.
Right.
So we get to New York.
A player's coach. That's what he was called. He was a player's coach.
Thank you. Now we get to New York. In the first year, he's 20-36, I want to say his record is. He gets there the first year, they suck.
Yep.
As expected.
Zach Wilson.
Rookie
Zach Wilson,
no,
I think.
it wasn't even, it was Mike White first.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next year, they draft Zach Wilson, which wasn't his idea.
Nope.
Let's start there.
Didn't draft him.
Did not draft him. Didn't want to draft him. That was the ownership telling you got to draft this kid from BYU.
Let me step in. They were set on Zach Wilson before any other team set a quarterback, too. They were all in on Zach Wilson, too. I just want to keep going.
Justin Fields.
Yep.
Trey Lance, who didn't pan out, but we don't know what would have happened if he would have got the right organization.
1,000%. I'm going to pull that draft up.
So you get there. You don't get to draft the draft pick you want with the second pick in the draft. All right, you take it on the chin. You move on. You continue to do what you do. The next year, Zach Wilson is terrible.
Yep.
You still manage to win 6 or 7 games, and your defense, again, is like, damn, that's a really good defense.
Yep.
The next year, you get Aaron Rodgers. Everybody is like, the Jets are contenders. I know Aaron was bad this year, but we made all the excuses in the world. His pinky hurt, his thumb hurt. Yep. He didn't like Matt LaFleur. He didn't like the offense.
They say, this is my favorite one, he wasn't locked in.
He wasn't locked in.
He wasn't motivated.
He wasn't motivated to play in the NFL.
Right. Fighting for his
career. Year after he won an MVP. Yeah, he just wasn't motivated.
No, fighting for his starting job. Fighting for his starting job, he wasn't motivated.
All right. Whatever. So you get Aaron Rodgers. Now you have Aaron Rodgers. You ask for Alan Lazard, they get you Alan Lazard.
Randall Cobb's on that team somewhere.
You ask for Randall Cobb, they get you Randall Cobb.
Yep.
You want Nathaniel Hackett to be your offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett is your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Every single thing Aaron asked for, he got.
Yep.
Robert Saleh ain't said a word. This whole time.
He just trying to play defense.
Robert Saleh ain't said a word.
He just trying to play some defense.
Just trying to play defense. What happens? Play for 2023 season. Aaron's Achilles snaps in half.
Yep.
They win the game. Mm-hmm. Your quarterback, that the entire offense, first things first, the show about nothing,
Yep.
Shay Shay's room. Everybody is spending time. What are the Jets going to do? What are the Jets going to be? Are the New York teams finna finally be contenders? Oh, my goodness, what a day.
Yep.
Fourth play of the game comes down, tears his Achilles, your rookie quarterback, y'all shitted on for a full offseason,
Yeah.
said he can't ever play football again. He sucks. Thank God he's over with. Has to walk in the game knowing everybody in that stadium is disappointed he's on the field.
Hates him almost.
Hates him
They
almost.
didn't even let him dress for the games. They didn't even put him on the active roster the year before.
And yes, the last few games, exactly. Robert Saleh rallies his troop. Obviously, he is distressed in his face. You can see it. But he rallies his troop, and they beat one of the best quarterbacks in football who goes on to make it to the divisional round. They beat that team that night. With all of that going on, they go on to win 7 games with no quarterback, no offensive game plan, a terrible offensive coordinator, no weapons, bad offensive line. Everything is wrong.
Yep.
And yes, injuries too to the offense. And the defense still shows up and wins you 7 games. They didn't win 1 game because of their offense. Right. It was all defensive performances, giving short fields, turnovers, pick sixes, et cetera, et cetera. All Robert Saleh's doing. Then the next offseason, this completely trips me out. He finally asked for a player in Hassan Reddick. You know he wants a contract.
Yep.
You trade for him and don't give him a contract.
Yep. So you just traded for nothing.
So you just made a trade for nothing.
Nothing.
When the player you traded for told you why he wanted to be traded, told you what you need, you said, hey, okay, got you. He asked for the contract. You don't give it to him.
He said, I want to get traded because I want a deal. I said, okay. All right, cool. And then don't give him a deal.
And guess what? The defense is still good.
Still good.
You don't lost your D tackle. You don't lost the defensive end to free agency. You brought one in, won't play him. So you playing in with whatever you can bring in. And the defense is still balling.
Elite.
We get to game 5 of the season. The offensive coordinator that Aaron built, the offense that Aaron built with the offensive coordinator that Aaron chose with the receivers other than Garrett Wilson, that Aaron chose is not good. Yep. They've had 1 good game against the worst team in the NFL. They're not good.
That's a fact. And we do suck, unfortunately.
The Robert Saleh is the scapegoat in this situation because the offense isn't good. We can't fire the offensive coordinator because he's Aaron's buddy.
Yep.
We can't tell Aaron that he's shitty because then he'll just fly back to Egypt.
Yep. Smokes it near my head.
So we'll sit and blame Robert Saleh for a situation he doesn't have any control over.
Yeah.
And use him as a scapegoat. Now in week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, when this team still sucks, because let me tell you why I know this doesn't even make sense. They hired the defensive coordinator.
Yo.
You fired the nigga running the defense to hire the other nigga running the defense. That has been good.
What's crazy is,
what are you doing?
What I am, yeah, wow. So that's where we are now with it, timeline wise, and to continue this timeline metaphor. What it doesn't worry me, but if I were a Jets fan, what would worry me is you hear a lot about coaches losing the locker room, quarterbacks losing the locker room. If I'm Sauce Gardner or Quinnen Williams, and we've been carrying this team for 2 years, and you just fired my coach because y'all offense shit, I maybe don't like that. Maybe I don't like that.
And that's a great point. That was one of my points today. Was how do the players feel about this?
Like maybe Sauce Gardner, who might be the best corner in the league, Quinnen Williams, who may be one of the best D tackles in the league, who has been shoulder carrying this offense, this team. Y'all brought in Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Super Bowl MVP from 2001, whatever the fuck he wanted that he been living off of. And we lost to the Broncos. The quarterback had negative yards at one point.
End of the game with 60-yard passes
Well,
on 9 completions.
We allow 1 touchdown on offense. Aaron gives them another one. The same game. He three picks in that game alone. And my coach got to go. So now we get listen, no matter what I think about that defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh knows more about that defense than him because that's Robert Saleh's defense. So what happens when that defense is not good anymore? Or maybe just not as great as it was? Like, we are reaching, like, tipping point 2. Like, the Pacers were the worst team in the league when you played them. Week 15, that might be you. That might be you.
They used him as a scapegoat. I'm
For
going
sure.
to continue to say that.
That's a scapegoat.
That is a scapegoat.
What's the joint from the Batman movie? They expect one of us in the wreckage, my brother. They expect somebody, my nigga. Like, it just had to be you, my guy.
They did him wrong. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But I want to take it off of Robert Saleh for a second and bring it to the Jets organization and the players in that locker room, like you said. Actually, no, let me keep it on Saleh and the players.
Yeah.
Because the past 2 seasons, they have been 7-9.
Yep.
And I'm more so focused on the first season because I think we can admit as a collective sports media that the first season don't matter. When you didn't have a quarterback, the rookie was bad, it don't matter. So last season we're going to take. Do you know how great of a leader you have to be for your quarterback to go down, your star quarterback, the savior goes down? This rookie quarterback that was bad last year, really bad the year before, is going to be the quarterback going forward. The ownership doesn't want to make a move because they don't want to make Aaron uncomfortable.
And as you mentioned, they are so tied to Zach Wilson, they won't let you go get somebody else. Because that was their boy.
That was their boy. This is who we drafted.
Remember, the plan was Aaron Rodgers going to teach Zach Wilson how to be good. So we can't get rid of Zach Wilson because he's supposed to be good later. Because the owner like him.
So again, I'm at a standstill because the owner wants to make a decision based on what the quarterback wants and not what I want as the head coach.
Yep.
But knowing all of this, feeling all of this, understanding all of this, the only person I can go home and talk to this about is my wife. My wife's the only person that knows what the frustration I'm dealing with.
Facts.
I got to come into the building every day, chin up, chest out, and coach and lead a group of men and lead a group of coaches.
Yeah.
And I did that. And I led the team from what we thought was going to win 2 games to a team that won 7 games. And along the way, beat some pretty good quarterbacks.
Facts.
If you had just a decent quarterback that year, not Aaron Rodgers because he was shit and he's bad. Yep. If you just had a Brock Purdy or something.
Regular guy.
They might have won 10 games last year.
Trevor Lawrence on that team, they won 10 games.
Exactly. The level of leadership it takes, the level of coaching ability it takes for you to be able to gather that locker room,
keep them locked
gather
in.
those troops, and keep them focused on the same mission, the same vision throughout the season is impressive in and itself, and should have at least got him 10 games.
Facts.
If the Jets were 3-7 right now, I wouldn't be saying shit.
Right.
But the Jets are 2-3 right now, and the reason they are 2-3 is because their offense was bad in all of the games they lost. San Francisco, offense was terrible. Broncos, the offense didn't score 1 touchdown.
Disgusting.
Again, Ish pointed it out. At one point, your defense had the quarterback with negative yards. He ended the game with 60 yards.
60 yards in the game.
And they lost because the offense couldn't score a touchdown.
Yep.
The week later, the number 1 offense in football with the best play caller and the best receiver we have seen in 10 years walks into London. And you held them to 16 points.
1 touchdown.
1 touchdown.
They were averaging 28 points a game.
You held them to 1 tub. And Aaron helped them get another one. And we walk out of that game and look at the head coach as the reason this team is bad. It is asinine. It is terrible. It's egregious what they did.
I have a new nickname for the Jets. I think you might like this. Panthers North. They're Panthers North. That is how we need to look at the Jets. The Jets have a bad owner who is impulsive, who is in the way of this team being good. Because what this fire tells me is Woody Johnson was embarrassed. He ain't like being embarrassed. Billionaires want to see. When something like that happens, they want somebody fired, so somebody had to get fired, and Aaron Rodgers' contract is guaranteed. That's what I look at it as. And Robert Saleh, you just got the short end of the stick. But, you know, two things can be true. I can say it's not your fault, and I believe it's not your fault. But on the other hand, life's just not fair. Life's just not fair, bro. Is it your fault that Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself, smoking drugs in the offseason, skipping minicamp, can't throw a touchdown to save his life? I mean, he probably just played the worst game he's played in 10 years, maybe.
Easily.
And it's your fault? Listen, it's not fair.
It's not.
Coming off an Achilles in a new system with mediocre at best weapons, you have one of the worst play callers in the league. Is it your fault?
I saw somebody say today, well, he should have made Aaron play in the preseason. Aaron wouldn't show up to a mandatory minicamp.
Yeah.
He would show up to a mandatory practice.
Yeah.
On a new team. On a year he's coming off an injury.
And
you think he could have made him play in the preseason?
Off an Achilles. And what's so kind of like damning just towards Aaron, because of course I'm going to get my little Aaron shots in here, is if Kirk Cousins was ass right now, you could at least be like, you know what? It's the Achilles. You could at least be like, you know what? It's a hard injury to come back from. Nobody really. No, because you know what Kirk Cousins did? He went to the mini camps. Him and his wife, they prayed every day on the way to practice. I know that little family, they did all the workouts, all the physical therapy.
And took Tuesday off.
Now, Aaron, with his ayahuasca and his single Pat McAfee friends, I don't know if he was as locked in, and you see it in the games. Because this is what makes me so mad about the Aaron talent, arm talent. He throw the ball. The game looked too fast for Aaron. And you want to tell me it's the Achilles, but it's not. The game is too fast for Aaron right now because the offense that he grew up, like the offense he won MVPs playing,
don't work no more.
That shit don't work no more, my nigga. That no freeze motion snap. Jordy Nelson not walking through them doors, bro. Devontae Adams not walking through them doors. And if he was, he damn sure ain't now. Y'all just fired the coach.
Why would Devontae Adams want to go play for that team?
Why would I Devontae Adams be like, man, I'm out in one of the worst ran teams in the league. I don't know what's happening with my quarterback the next couple of years. We suck. Let me go do that in New York. In New York. Where you can't let nothing slide under the radar. Odell was a wide receiver. They was like, man, Odell, why aren't the Giants winning? Fam, like, I'm a wide receiver, my nigga. Well, you're the star. Because, listen, and Devontae, you know, it ain't going to be Aaron who gets the blame. And what's so shameful about it is because when we were here for the draft special and we argued about how good Aaron Rodgers was, everybody told me he was going to be top 15. Niggas laughed me out the room. He's nowhere near even top 20 right now in any quarterback ranking. But my last question was, why do y'all think Aaron Rodgers is playing this year? Do y'all think Aaron Rodgers is playing at his age post-Achilles because he thinks he's a good quarterback still? Or is his ego, like he admitted, pushing him to play on a team he's not good enough to play for? His ego is too big for him to understand he is not that guy. Who the fuck is calling from South Carolina? But yeah, it's cool there.
I agree with everything you said. To wrap this up, because we've been going for about 20 minutes, I'm disappointed, but it says something that was important, is that I think this might be the best thing for Robert Saleh. I 100% agree with that. Mm-hmm. In situations where, you know the girl that fine as hell?
Yeah.
She got everything.
Mm-hmm.
She ass too fat.
Yeah.
She pretty.
Pretty laugh.
Her voice sound good when she gets in your voice note. Like that type of girl.
Yeah.
But she is the worst person you've ever met in your entire
life. Facts. We all know one.
And no one. Is she the girl? Is so-and-so coming?
Yeah.
She one of them.
Yeah.
But you can't get away.
For the ladies listening, the girl that laugh at your boyfriend jokes a little too much. Mm-hmm. She just laugh a little. Oh my God damn. She give him a little tap.
The one that rub his arm when she give him a hug.
Yeah. Like,
You got to let her go.
Yeah.
You know you got to let her go.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Saleh. The Jets were that girl. Mm-hmm. It was time to go. I know you want to be a head coach. I know being a black Muslim, one of the first black Muslim head coach, meant something to you. Especially in a city like New York, where you win in New York, you are ingratiated in culture forever. Forget New York culture.
Yeah.
You're ingratiated in culture forever.
Facts.
Niggas still fuck with Stephon Marbury.
Oh, God.
Spike Lee is living off New York, sitting on being a New York Knicks fan.
Yeah.
That's how people know Spike Lee.
Facts. You can't name me the most famous Colts fan in the league. No, you can't.
Like it's a thing. So I understand your passion. I understand your frustration. But there is a silver lining in every dark story. Mm-hmm. And the silver lining here is I know the Ravens would be really, really happy to get a new defense coordinator.
Listen, I was gonna say, hey, listen, Robert. This is the part of the story where you gotta, like Dave said, you gotta see the silver lining. It's like, man, I let this one joint go, but man, that Philadelphia shorty been looking for it, nigga.
Come on now.
Listen, that Philadelphia girl been looking for somebody.
Come on now.
She got all this talent. She just needs some defense.
Just needs some defense.
I know.
Hey, the Cincinnati Bengals can't stop a cold, son.
Can't stop a nosebleed.
Can't stop nothing. It's some quarterbacks you can go to. It's some defenses you can go to that got some talent.
Some quarterbacks ain't smoking ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm. It's some places you can go.
I'm telling you.
And I know for a fact, them coaches, the GMs, when you get in this interview and you tell them what you had to deal with and what you faced and how you overcame it, they are going to want you in that locker room.
Yeah.
When you get that call back, when Kyle Shanahan get that call and be like, hey, what did you get with Robert Saleh?
Yeah.
That recommendation will be glowing.
Facts.
When they call Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, that recommendation will be glowing. Mm-hmm. You will have another opportunity as a head coach.
I like him in New England.
Make sure you have a quarterback. Yeah. That is all you need to know, bro. And I know you know that because that defense has been good since you got there. Mm-hmm. You've had the personnel. You've had, and the thing that's the most important thing. That defense was good when Sauce got there. Yeah. That defense been good no matter who was playing on that defense.
Before he literally helped, and that's my thing is Sauce was amazing, best corner coming out the draft. Of course, he's one of the best corners in the league. He's not Sauce without Robert Saleh. Like the way the Colorado plays a certain defense because of Travis Hunter, the Jets play to Sauce's strength. And you see that. You saw that in the Vikings game where everyone's holding because they got to play man-to-man because Sauce the only one that can take Jettas one-on-one. So the rest of you niggas got to play man-to-man too. Like, you see where Robert Saleh is for sure a good defensive coach.
No question.
But defensive coaches, you got to have a guy. You got to have – and that is the sad part about Robert, this ending this way because he thought Rodgers was going to be that guy. Mm-hmm. I needed someone I could hand this offense to, like Bill Belichick did with Tom Brady, like Andy Reid does with Spags. Like, if you're gonna be on one side of the ball and you're an expert, you need an expert on the other side of the ball.
Agreed.
And Nat Hackett just isn't that.
Like Dan Quinn is doing with Cliff Kingsbury.
Exactly. Literally.
But